Haley.
Hi, Haley. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Good.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and get things started. We would like to welcome the defending champion, Michael Thompson, to the media room here at the 3M Open. Michael, welcome back.
Thank you.
Can you take us reflect back on your second PGA Tour win last year?
Yeah, it was a magical week. I was putting really nicely. My ball striking was as good as it had been all year, and just had a really good feel around this golf course. It was my second time being around, and just kind of everything went right. I played great. I played real smart golf. Didn't make too many mistakes. But I think what was key for me that week was my putting. I made a ton of putts, gave myself a ton of chances, and just felt very comfortable on the greens. And so far, I practiced yesterday and kind of feeling the same way this week. So I'm excited to tee it up.
Being back on the course, does it bring back certain memories of specific holes, ones that maybe were birdied, or you walk us through? I remember number 16 was a big one, and the finishing hole on 18 in that final round.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of the first memories I had was all the tee shots on number 2. Actually, that was the first time around this golf course. That was a tough tee shot for me, just visually kind of intimidating. And one of my goals that week was just I want to hit that fairway every week, and I think I hit it 3 out of the 4 times, and so that was a real kind of positive for me. And then obviously the bunker shot on 16 on Sunday was incredible. I played the back 9 yesterday and tried to recreate the shot and left it like 30 feet short. So put it into perspective how great that shot was for me, and just propelled me on to win. And another big one was the going for the green on 18 on Saturday after I hit it in the water off the tee shot, and then saving par out of the bunker, out of the greenside bunker. That was a huge momentum swing at the end of a day. Kind of a struggle in terms of dealing with nerves, being back in contention for the first time in a long time, and that really kind of helped keep the motivation and keep the confidence level at a high going into Sunday. So, those are probably some of the 3 biggest takeaways from last week was just accomplishing my goal on number 2 on the tee shot, and then the bunker shot on 16, and then saving par essentially on 18.
What is it about this course that fits your game so well?
I guess it has a lot of similarities for me to Arizona golf in terms of you got to position your ball off the tee. And if you can do that, keep it in the fairway, it gives you chances to get it close coming into the greens. And then I think on the greens, these greens roll so smoothly. The surfaces are so perfect. The grounds crew do such a great job of getting these greens rolling so nicely that for me it's just easy to see lines and to read putts. And so but the biggest thing from tee to green, it's kind of position golf. You gotta hit it within a certain area off the tee, avoid some bunkers, avoid some water in certain situations, and then if you do that, you're going to have great opportunities to get it close.
7 years between your first win and the one last year. Hear a lot of players say the second win is almost harder than the first. The first is kind of relieving the pressure, getting to that point, proving you can do it. Did you find that the second win was harder than the first?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't know if it would ever come. You believe in yourself, and you work hard, and we grind every day to try to have that success. It's obviously easy for some guys, but for myself, kind of a journeyman guy, been out here for a long time and just kind of steady. It was when you get in that situation, the tendency is to put a lot of pressure on yourself to try to close out the tournament and to win. And it was just a special moment. That going through that struggle over 7 years makes the win even more special and more important to me. And obviously now I know I can do it multiple times, and so there's that little bit of extra confidence that I can do it again. And the process doesn't change. It's just continue to give myself opportunities and try to make as many putts as I can and give myself a chance come Sunday. But I know I can do it, and I have the belief that I can do it. And so, hopefully I can have give myself another chance to do it again this week.
And 2020 was a unique year where there weren't any fans there to celebrate your win. How excited are you to have fans back?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great. I think Minnesotans are excited about this week. I've gotten a lot of feedback on Instagram from people that are excited to come back to the event. The build out here is awesome. We got grandstands all surrounding 18 and 17, and coming down the stretch. It's going to be pretty wild and ruckus. So it's exciting. I'm looking forward to the atmosphere.
Is your family out here with you as well?
They are. Yep. We got here Sunday. Kids are excited to be here. My son has been asking me when am I going to win another tournament, because he wants to be there when it happens. So it's going to be a good week.
Thank you. We're going to go over to Adam Schuback, who has a question.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Adam.
Following up on what Haley asked you there, 7 years, how do you keep a positive outlook when you don't win for that long of a period of time?
I think that's just the mindset that any athlete needs to have. You need to have the belief that you can do it, and you can overcome adversity, and you can become a champion even when you don't feel like you're at your best. And so I really loved Rory McIlroy's answer. I think it was back in January when he was kind of pursuing more speed and was starting to hit it kind of all over the place. And he said, you have to be the eternal optimist. You can't stop believing in yourself, because once you do, you no longer become competitive and you start to fade away from the game. And so we all go through those struggles as athletes and golfers especially, because golf is so cyclical, it's so up and down. And it's really all about the self-talk, what we tell ourselves when we're waking up in the morning or when we're working out, when we're practicing, is continue to have that positive self-talk. Is like, I can do this, I can make putts, I can hit the shot when I need to, those kinds of things. And the more you hear it, the more likely you're going to find success when you're actually in that moment. So it's really just as simple as that, albeit it's a difficult discipline to master.
What do you love about the grind?
Just the pursuit of perfection, the pursuit of executing the shot when I need to, the joy of hearing a crowd cheer when you hit a great shot or make a long putt. That's part of the joy of playing competitive golf, is the gratification and satisfaction of really kind of impressing somebody, not only yourself but the fans. So that's what drives the motivation.
If I told you when you left Alabama that you'd have 2 wins at this point in your career, what would you be? What would you feel?
I would say I would expect that. I might even say I'd expect a little bit more. I think I've underperformed since I graduated college. But at the same time, I'm still young. I'm only 36, and there have been plenty of guys who have had, second half of their careers be the best part of their career. So hopefully I can follow suit, like a Steve Stricker or kind of Matt Kuchar towards the later half of his 30s. Both had stellar careers, and I hope that I can be a player like that. And obviously I'm working hard for that, and I've got a couple year exemption on tour, so I've got time to work on my game and get better, more consistent. And again, the self-talk is probably the most important part, because if that doesn't exist, then I'm only limiting myself to what I can achieve.
And just one last little follow-up. Which of your children has been nagging you about needing to win again?
Definitely my 4-year-old, my son. He's my daughter Laurel. She's 16 months, so she doesn't quite understand what's going on. She's just happy to see me every day. But Jace is excited for me to get a second win because he wants to experience it and celebrate that with me at the tournament. So he's the one that's been reminding me every week, when are you going to win again, Dad? When are you going to win again? And so there's a lot of motivation there to have him experience being a champion and being a winner of a golf tournament.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to go over to Jace Frederick, St. Paul Pioneer Press.
Hey Michael, you talked at Media Day about how you've been practicing well. Is this, like, returning to this course where you've had success, can that kind of be the launching pad for that breakthrough into tournament play?
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously this course, I like it. It's comfortable. I've got great memories. I kind of have the same feeling here as I do at the Honda. You know, at the Honda, when I first played that as a rookie, I didn't like the golf course at all. And then 2 years later, I win. And since then, I've actually had a lot of really good finishes there, and feel like I've been knocking on the door of another win at the Honda. And so I feel like this course kind of has that similar feel to it. You know, it's kind of position golf, keep it in play, be aggressive when you have a wedge in your hand, and see the ball going in the hole when you're on the green. So I've been having better practices. I've been focusing on a lot of my short game lately. I feel like my iron play is getting better. Just made a change on my driver yesterday that was allowing the ball to fly a little bit straighter. So I'm kind of excited where things are, and you know, you just never know until you get in the moment and you tee it up on Thursday. And but I think the confidence is higher than it was even at Media Day. So I'm looking forward to this week.
And then you mentioned like structures around 18 and there's like that at 17, and I'm sure it's like that, you know, every tournament you go to right now, but it's so much more like there's so many more structures and less open than it was a year ago. Like, how has that changed things for golfers? Like, when you play course 1 year, it's pretty wide open without, you know, fans.
Yeah. It's there's obviously more noise with all of that, with the people, which is great. There's kind of an exciting buzz when you get on that hole, especially when there's a big build out like the grandstands around 18. But in terms of like from a golf perspective, all it does is change your targets, right? You have something different to aim at, and actually as a pro, it makes things a little bit easier because there's defined targets right behind the greens, or you know, off the tee shots, and so it just makes it a little bit easier in terms of picking out targets, which can be good for visualizations and visualizing what shot you're going to hit, you know, working it off something, you know, starting it here and trying to end up there. And so it's kind of nice to have those back because, you know, I've been out here long enough. You get used to aiming at certain structures, and we didn't have that last year. So my caddy and I had to make a lot of adjustments, but it'll be nice to get back to normal this year.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks.
Now over to Jerry Segota with the Minneapolis Star Tribune.
Hi, Michael. Welcome
Hi, Jerry.
back. Have you been around the course the last couple days yet?
I played the back nine yesterday.
Anything that you can see, any change in design or in condition with the drop we've had here for?
No, I mean, I was here a few weeks ago, and it had been raining a good bit up until that point, and so the course was soft. Course is a little soft right now, but I fully expect that to firm up as the week goes on. I think they're just kind of keeping it healthy early on in the week. So I expect conditions to dry up a bit, but the course is in phenomenal shape. The greens are so smooth. The fairways are like carpet, and the rough is very healthy. So it's going to be a premium on hitting the fairways this week. And then as the course firms up, it's going to be, you know, kind of ball position with regards to approaches into the greens is going to be important because, as you know, there's a lot of hazards out here, and you know, a lot of deep bunkers, and so, you know, making sure that you're playing out of the fairways and you know, hitting into the greens is how aggressive you get is going to depend on how soft the greens are. So as of right now, I think it's great scoring conditions, and as it firms up, the course is going to play a little bit firmer, so a little bit more difficult. So it's going to be a great week.
Like everything out here, it all depends on the wind.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you can say that every day on a golf course. You know, I expect it's going to be hot this week, so that's going to be something everybody's going to have to deal with in terms of fatigue. But you know, the wind is the wind. You know, everybody's got to deal with it. Hopefully, I get a good draw Thursday, Friday, and get favorable conditions, and you know, we'll just see what happens.
Does it suit any particular type of player?
I don't think so, and I think that's what makes this tournament great, is that anybody in the field has a chance to win, whether you're a long hitter or a short hitter, a great putter or a great iron player. I mean, it's everybody can play well, and hopefully that'll lead to you know, a bunched leaderboard come Sunday afternoon, and that's what the viewers want, that's what the fans want. You know, what happened in 2019 with Matthew Wolff and Colin Morikawa, I mean, that's why people go to golf tournaments, is to see the excitement on the last hole, the last 3 holes. So, you know, I'm excited, and hopefully I can give myself a chance to be in that situation.
Last question, what do you think of the strength of the field the week after the British with the Olympics?
I think it's pretty good. You know, I think the Olympics has hurt it a little bit. A few guys maybe not here that otherwise would be, but you know, any week on the PGA Tour is a great field where there's 120 guys with legitimate chances to win, I think, every week. And you never know, there might be a breakout player that comes out and goes lights out for the week. So it's always exciting.
Thank you.
With KMSP Box 9, we have Jeff Paul.
Hi, Michael. Good to see you again.
Hi, Jeff.
I have 2 quick ones here, so I'll try to be brief. But kind of piggybacking off of Jerry's last question, you've got, I believe it's like 23 of the top 70 players in the world here this week. What's kind of the national perception on tour of the 3M Open now that it's in its 3rd year? The field seems to get a little bit better every year. What's kind of the national perception of this tournament?
Yeah, I think everybody on tour talks about the quality of the course setup as well as the conditions. I arguably think some of the best conditions we have all year. The rough is thick. The fairways are perfect. They're, like I said, they're like carpets, and the greens are some of the smoothest greens we play all year. So I think barring a ton of rain, which could happen this time of year. Although this week I think we're going to be pretty dry. You know, I think it's a great course. It's obviously a course that has stood the test of time. It had a Champions Tour event out here for a long time. So it's had a lot of great play, a lot of great champions. And, you know, I think this is a tournament that not only in a great location in Minnesota, but in a good time slot of the year in terms of coming up north in July is always preferable for us, and I think we're excited to be here. This is a great opportunity for a lot of guys to you know, secure their card going into the FedEx Cup, as well as earn some needed points, you know, to position themselves to make it as far as they possibly can for the FedEx Cup. So there's a lot to play for this week.
One more from me. You talked a little bit a couple weeks ago at media day about, you know, your caddy almost kind of challenging you on the Saturday to execute a couple shots and you're ready to win. We saw, you know, anybody who watched the Open Championship coverage saw Colin and his caddy, you know, talking over every shot. They saw Jordan Spieth and his caddy talking over virtually every shot. How important is that relationship with you and your caddies? I think a lot of people that are casually watching assume, oh, they're just carrying a golf bag, and it's a lot more complicated than that. What is, you know, how does that affect your, as you navigate around the golf course, how does that relationship kind of evolve?
Yeah, it takes some time to create that trust between a caddy and a player, I think once you reach that point, a good caddy understands how a player sees a golf shot and how he sees attacking a pin or where he wants to hit it off the tee, position himself in order to be able to attack a pin. And once you get to that point, the caddy provides a great sounding board for the player to basically confirm his instincts. At the end of the day, the player's instincts matters more than anything. But also every day, a player is going to have doubt, and not all the time, but there would be a few shots around that are just require a little bit more focus or a little bit more attention. And when there's any sort of doubt, if a player is willing to communicate with his caddy, the caddy's job becomes very important in solidifying the confidence in the shot choice. And as we saw with Colin Morikaw's caddy, and obviously Jordan Spieth and Michael Greller talk a lot. I think a good caddy you'll see, and even Bones did this with Phil, was giving the player confidence in that they're making the right decision, they have the right club, the right number, and to go execute the shot. And that's exactly what Damian Lopez D'Lo, my caddy, did last year on Saturday on 18 after I hit in the water and took a drop. He gave me the confidence that I could hit a 3-wood over the water and give myself the best chance to save par, and it worked out. And that's a moment that will obviously live with me for a long time. But a perfect example of a caddy stepping in and saying, "You can do this," which we all need every now and then.
Awesome, thank you.
We have a follow-up from Adam Schuback with Golf Week.
All right.
And Michael, just wondering, do you have any ties to Minnesota, Minneapolis area, or have you either in past trips, or do you have plans to see some of the sites this week or in the past?
Yeah, so one of my 3 U.S. amateurs that I played in was 2006 at Hazeltine. So I had a great experience that week, getting first time really being in Minnesota. And then another connection I have is my brother, younger brother, is his wife grew up here in Minnesota, and they met in college, and he's now flying F-16s, doing crazy stuff in a fast airplane. But his in-laws live up here in Minnesota, and they actually came out 2 years ago to watch, and they might come out this week. I'm not sure yet. So have those 2 connections, and having my family here this week, I'm definitely planning on bringing my son out here to experience a lot of the science that 3M is showcasing this week. So I'm excited to do that. In terms of sightseeing around town, don't have anything planned yet, but if anybody has suggestions, shoot me up on Instagram and let me know what I can be doing. So, but for the most part, I'm focused on being here, playing the tournament, and hopefully giving myself a chance to win. So that's first priority.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
That's all the questions we have. Thank you, Michael, for
Awesome.
taking the time to join us, and best of luck this week.
Thank you, Haley.
Thanks, Michael.
We good? Okay, so you can either